from Politico. They say, we dug into the polls. Democrats in Congress should be very afraid. You see, I mentioned in the previous segment that Democrats are never going to win again if Donald Trump succeeds in his efforts to require proof of citizenship for voting. But it ain't just about whether or not Donald Trump can actually make it harder for them to game the system. Everybody hates them. So Politico.com mentions that for the first time in their polling history, this is which polling? Quinnipiac. For the first time in Quinnipiac polling history, Democrats are underwater, -9 net approval, while Republicans are enjoying a 69% approval, which is absolutely crazy. Now, this is among their party. So 69% of Republicans like the Republican Party, and it's gone up. Among Democrat voters, they view the Democratic Party extremely negatively. Now, here's why I say they're never going to win. Take a look at this from Gallup. They found 22% of Democrats and Democratic-leaning independents in 2025 want the party to stay the same. 29% want it to be more liberal, and 45% want it to be more moderate. So the way I explain this is, I combine the more liberal and stay the same in the same category. I'll tell you why. The party is insane. The Democratic Party right now represents...
Absolutely.
They're on the wrong side of numerous 80-20 issues. That's the talking point, right? Immigration, they're on the wrong side. Transgender stuff, wrong side. So if they stay the same, the party is crazy and can't win. If they get more liberal, they're even crazier and they can't win. That means 51% of the Democratic Party wants to be crazy enough to not win ever again. and 45 are saying, please moderate. You know, I love this because it means that 45%, they're going to come knocking. They're going to say, Terrence, I don't know. The Democrats are crazy. I'm buying waffles from you.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, this is why President Trump won. Like I said before, there were people who I know that did not like Trump at all, would never vote for him, but they voted for him in this past election just because they thought the Democrats were so crazy.
Democrats are crazy.
And I know people who they do not like Trump as a person, but they voted for him. And this one lady said, she said, I'm gonna vote for Trump, but I'm gonna hold my nose while I'm doing it. But she still voted for him. She just couldn't believe it. She was sick to her stomach that she felt like she had to vote for him because the party that she's been supporting is absolutely insane.
They're not voting for Trump. They're voting against the Democrats.
Exactly.
Because the Democrats are completely insane. I know that the polling will tell you that this is not a major factor, but the party that says men can become women and women can become men will not win. You cannot change your gender. And
Absolutely
the demand that the Democrats make that you participate in that charade will always lose them. You will always lose the majority of people.
I have one prediction, or maybe just a theory, that they are amenable to the idea of moderating on those types of issues, on gender ideology, LGBT stuff, all of those massively unpopular things. But what they're planning to do is radicalize on class division.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Emphasize class as much as possible and
right
de-emphasize all of the marginalized groups
they
aside
have
from
tons of work to do on that because the MAGA movement has already taken the middle class away from the Democrats. The Democrats decided that they were going for the very wealthy and the very poor, the people that are on some kind of government assistance, and the extremely wealthy, and they have no one else.
The reason why they can't do that is that trans activists will show up to all of their events and scream at the top of their lungs.
Throw firebombs.
Yeah, but you know what? Common sense is back. We need to live in reality. You know, they push all this trans shit. This is, excuse my language. I know this is not the after hours. I don't want to get carried away with cussing. I don't want to get carried away with cussing.
Save it.
But it's hard to cut. It's hard not to cuss when you're talking about Democrats. I mean, at home, behind closed doors, I say, the profanity that I use when I talk about Democrats is absolutely insane. But yeah, I mean, common sense is back. Pushing, trying to forcing trans issues onto every American is absolutely just insane. They would say, trans issues are black issues. What the hell are you? What in the cornbread hell are you talking about? What do you mean trans issues are black issues?
I think they know that that's a regrettable decision, and they're planning to moderate their rhetoric on it, but they're planning to radicalize rhetoric that's related to class division and not talking about the middle class, but talking about the rich and the not rich, the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah,
is that what you're sensing?
They're definitely trying to do the oligarchy thing. AOC is doing it with Bernie. Their core message right now is that billionaires have too much money. Look,
it was popular in 2016.
Yeah, the problem is, I don't know if that's going to work for the average person. They're trying to go to working class people and saying the reason you're broke is because a rich person stole it from you. But the problem still remains, if they abandon the gender issue, or if they try to just downplay it, Republicans will pounce.
Yeah.
And they're going to try and play they tried this already. They're going to say, it's such a small population. Why are you so focused on it?
Yeah.
But that Kamala's for they, them commercial really did hit hard. It got a lot of people.
The reason that people are so focused on it is because they want to enshrine it into law that your child can go to the teacher and hide things like I'm a trans child to the teacher. What they're doing is they're putting the state in between parents and children. That is always a loser, first of all. And second of all, the situation, if they decide to go with a class war, the people that have been in positions of authority in the Democrat Party, they're all millionaires too.
Most Americans believe that the trans movement is a very weird, delusional movement. Like, how could you be a man?
And
I don't care what you into. How could you be a man? How can you just cut off your private parts and just throw it in the trash?
No.
Like, you just cut it off and threw it away?
Women
cutting off their breasts, removing their breasts. When you have when you have women out here who have breast cancer and they have to remove their breasts to save their lives, and they wish they would die they would literally do anything to have breasts again, but they can't because they have breast cancer. They have to get rid of it. And then you got these women out here, healthy as it can be, cutting off their breasts. It's sick. It is absolutely sickening.
It's not just that one issue. The left is insane on a plethora of topics. Mm-hmm. The average American supports Israel. That's a reality. And you've got these people in line who want to claim otherwise. Not the case. Poll after poll after poll shows it. They can make every excuse in the world for it. But this country is still largely Christian, and there are Christians who want the U.S. to be supporting Israel. That's why Donald Trump is going so heavily in support of Israel, because it's an 80-20 issue. And the Democrats are they're moving to the wrong side of that one as well.
And one more thing, if they do try that specific angle of that angle or whatever, all it takes is a good economy, and that loses, because people that are satisfied, that feel like they have the ability to better their position in lives, they don't vote for class wars.
I have also been hearing that we're heading into a recession.
I'm not saying that
is that realistic.
I'm not trying to predict the future. I'm saying that if the economy is good for 6 months before the election, then the Democrats will lose on that. And also the thing that we're talking about is the Democrats are they've lost a ton of people from California, from multiple states, and the electoral. They're going to lose Congress people from multiple states, and the right is gaining people because all of the people that left New York, all the people that left California because of bad Democrat policies, those people have relocated in places like Florida, places like Texas, and they're going to see a larger number of people that are going to be, or they're going to have more congressional representatives. So these things are going to be a reality as well. So Democrats are not actually looking particularly good, even though historically the party out of power does better in the off-year elections after a president wins.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't think we will go into a recession, but who knows? But if we do, it'll be a minor setback for a major comeback. Okay. And I think a lot of people think we may go into a recession because of the tariffs, because of this tariff war. But I think it'll be a minor setback for a major comeback. Everything that President Trump is doing, it makes sense. Even the reciprocal tariffs that's supposed to happen on Liberation Day, which is April 2nd, that makes sense. If you charging me 20%, I'm charging you 20%. You charging me 50, I'm gonna charge you 50. This is common sense, okay?
There are multiple companies that have talked about
This is common sense.
There are multiple companies that have talked about significant investment in the United States because of the tariffs. Rolls-Royce is talking about it. I forget what country it was, but a Middle Eastern country is talking about like 1.5 trillion over 10 years. Significant investment is happening in the United States because of talk of tariffs.
But the Democrats know that if we enter into a golden age, there is no way that they can win in 2028. So their job is to destroy up until then. Their job is to make sure that America is not doing well, because if America is doing great, if everybody's eating good and living good, they're not going to win.
It's not just that. It's that their policy positions are insane, out of touch with Americans. And even if Americans are doing bad, they're not presenting them with issues that will make their lives better.
Right.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.